I really enjoy activities that keep me busy and allow to spend time with my friends and community. Now, I might not be the most interesting person, but these are hobbies I really enjoy doing, and that you might too. There are a lot of things I like to do outside of school, but these are a few that stick out to me. And those are FBLA, FFA, and spending time with my friends, family, and my puppy Cece. Now, the first thing I like to do is FBLA, which stands for the Future Business Leaders of America. And in FBLA, we try to do things like teach younger members how to be better business leaders. Now, one thing that I like to do in FBLA is competitions. Now, for FBLA, I have competed in publication design and introduction to FBLA, which taught students what FBLA is about. And publication design, we had to make a slogan and a mascot and all those kinds of things for a school. And the next thing I like to do in FBLA is being a chapter officer. As a chapter officer, I do lots of things like help start up community service projects and help register kids for the BAAs, which are the Business Achievement Awards. And if you complete all levels of the BAAs, you can make it to Nationals, which this year is in Salt Lake City, Utah. Another thing I like to do for FBLA is Nationals. Now myself, I have only made it to Nationals one time, and I went to San Antonio, Texas, and San Antonio was a lot of fun. I got to do a competitive event there where I gave a test, but I was also a state officer, which I'll talk about next, where I had to lead a bunch of members into their right areas. Now for FBLA, I am a state officer. I'm the North Dakota FBLA state historian, and that's probably my main thing I love to do with FBLA. Being a state officer, I get to help plan events like the FOC, where this picture was taken, and we had to choose our keynote speaker, Kyle Wilcom. Now the next thing I like to do is FFA, and FFA stands for the Future Farmers of America. Now in FFA, another thing I like to do is competitive events just like FBLA, except these are slightly different. So one thing that I've competed in every year is extemporaneous public speaking. And in extemporaneous public speaking, you get 30 minutes to prepare a speech right before the event starts, which is kind of exhilarating. It's a lot of fun. Another kind of event that we do for FFA is nursery landscape and food science. And in those events, you get to compete as a team, and most of the time you get to choose the friends you want to do it with you. Another thing I like to do in FFA is I'm a chapter officer, again, but I am the FFA chapter president. Now as president, I get to lead chapter meetings and I get to help set up community service projects, and I'm going to host the FFA banquet this year, where I get to choose the keynote speaker and I get to arrange all the members that get to come. And the last thing I like to do in FFA is National Convention as well. This year, on October 27th, we leave out for National FFA, which is in Annapolis, and we're going to have a lot of fun there. We don't do any competitive events, but we do get to spend a lot of time with friends and go to concerts and rodeos. The last thing I like to do is spend time with my family and friends and my little puppy Cece. Now, my friends consist of Keaton Slemon and Landon Lovelace, and we just like to drive around, and when we're not driving around, we like to go on trips to Minot or Williston, where we get McDonald's and go see movies. I also like to spend time with my family, but most of my family is back home in Tennessee, so when I do get to see them, I like to spend as much time with them as possible. And the last thing I like to do is spend time with my puppy Cece, where I like to teach her a lot of new tricks. And one of my favorite tricks that I do with her is simple, but if I snap my fingers, she likes to sit down, and she just makes this cutest little face. And those were the few things that I really enjoy doing, and like I said, those were FBLA, FFA, spending time with my family and friends, and hanging out with my puppy Cece. Do you enjoy doing some of the activities like I do?
Good job, Matthew.